Well, good afternoon or good morning or wherever else you are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome one and all. This is Robert Roy, your host. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please go ahead and type the number 1 in the questions box. Let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Morning, Jason. Helen, good morning. Hey, Robert. We had a fantastic Easter. I hope you all did as well. Easter, Passover, whichever you're celebrating. Harry, how are you? All right. Yep, I will do that, Brandon. All right, there you go. Morning, Russell. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it, Robert. Hey, Rob, happy Easter Monday. Yeah, there. Yep, Jim, absolutely. Absolutely. And I see Sean has replied to your question, Jim, so help him out there with what you're referring to. Oh, Marianne, I'm glad you made it. I'm sorry to hear that about Charles. Yeah, you're welcome, Jim. You're welcome. Excellent. So talk to me. Talk to me. In other words, talk to me. Right? How are you doing today trade-wise? Let me know. How are your trades going today? I'll share mine if you share yours. Right? Tell me how trades are going. Excellent. Let me just move the video stuff around. You can just kind of take that and grab it and drag it where it needs to be. Let's see. Let me go grab my drawing tools just so they are ready. It'd be great if I could see the text without needing the dang glasses. Tom said scalp $300 on oil and a swing trade on live cattle. His first target for about $1,000. There you go. Robert S. $4,600 today already. Awesome. Here he said made some money with the Qs. Roman said I supported local business, Amazon, and the trade went well. Well, how did we have that yesterday, Roman? I don't remember. We had down as a day trade, so I'm assuming you followed the day trading rules from Power Option Plays and rocked it with that as normal. Jason said today in limbo. Lost 250 on NG, Tom said. Okay. 275 with SPY. Excellent, Larry. Great. Robert K. Yeah. Robert said, getting old, Rob. I think the vision is the first to go, but I forgot. It's called old timers, not sometimers, right, Robert? It's actually called sometimers, isn't it? Sometimes I just forget. Robert S. said Apple, Amazon, SFM, Pepsi, and GameStop. SPY gain today, Gilly said on SPY for $500. That is awesome. It's awesome. I dropped in the presentation today. I'll share with you the SPY trade that you did. Okay, so here's what I want to know. How many of you were able to make money in under an hour? Give me a 1. If you were able to make money in under an hour, give me a 1. And I'm not asking you if you made $2 million, $2. You were profitable within an hour. Drop in a 1. That's probably Amelia's ones dropping in there. In my text, let's see. Nope, not her. Okay. So quite a few of you, all right? How many of you were able to make money in under half an hour? Give me a 2 if you were able to make money in under 30 minutes. Give me a 2. I'm just trying to check my numbers here. All right. Wow, good number of you. That is excellent. Some of you know, and that's okay. That's okay. I'll share with you. It's in the presentation, so I'll share with you in a few minutes exactly what happened today with numbers. All right. And I've actually got someone else here that's going to talk as well. So, but guys, what's coming up this week? Right? We got Trading You coming up on April 7th, which I don't have an April calendar up yet, which is 2 days from now, I guess, Wednesday. Patterns in a flash. The first one is the 14th. April 15th is Inner Circle. And the 22nd is Monster Market Movers. These are all premium workshops. Mastermind group tomorrow night. We pick up our second of 4 weeks in a row that we're going through the new 28 days to mastering the mastermind group. Free online workshops. Of course, you got Power Hour this Friday. First time ever seen, ever in years, almost a decade. No, not quite, but certainly 5 or 7 years. My very good friend, Mr. Ryan Litchfield, is going to be doing his first Coach's Corner. Ryan joined us a couple of months back. You'll see more coming from him, but I'm excited to have him in. April 7th, which again is tomorrow, we've got Patterns to Success, where Tony kind of walks through the patterns that he uses for his own self and his own trading. And then Brandon's got the top 3 strategies coming up on April 13th and 14th, both of them at 12 noon. Power Option Plays, Covered Call Explorer, E-mini, all on track for the regularly scheduled program. Here's the follow us page. Make sure that you are, but here's what I need some help, right? We do this training for free. We don't ask for anything, right? I'm going to ask for something today. I'm going to ask you to go wherever you download your podcast from, wherever that might be, whether it's Apple, whether it's Google, whether it is Spotify. Sean, who else did we just get posted on? Wherever it is, go in there and 1, download our podcasts. And number 2, please leave a comment in there, right? It will help us greatly. As a brand new podcast, we need some momentum behind us. Some comments would be fantastic. I got an email this week that another one of our podcasts, and we've got 4. The 5th one goes up today. Another one of our podcasts hit over 100 downloads. So I'm excited as a brand new company that we're doing. Brent, Pandora, and iHeart. All right. Thank you, Sean. That's awesome. That is awesome. Good. So guys, here's the trade from today, right? This is today. And I'll show you the numbers of where they were actually entered in to the system on Tosh. You can see everything that happened there. We sold the 403 calls, right? The 166 call, 8.5% rate of return in 3 minutes, right? 3 minutes, right? Here we bought the 403 calls, right? At 153, and here we sold them at 166, right? If you look, we put an order in for 10 contracts. We got filled on 4, 4, and 2. It's just the way it happened, right? We did not get them all. And it was within, you could see, 9:43, 15, 16, 16. Within 1 second of each other, we got all 10. Right, but we got into this trade at 9:43. Let's make sure you can see what I'm talking about, right? Where is my, all right, let's do this. So these are our entries, 1, 2, 3, were the entries into the trade. The exit was right here. Now I want you to look at the times. 9:43 to 9:46. So 3 minutes and 16 seconds, let's call it. We went in and out on that trade, and what did we make on it? Right? Well, let's go back and look at that. Got to move that around so I can see my clear button. Okay. What do we make on that? Well, if you look, if we got in at 53 and we got out at 66, that's 13 cents. Yeah, but Rob, it's 13 cents. It's 8.5% rate of return in 3 minutes. 13 cents, if you did 10 contracts, which is what we did, that's $130 in 3 minutes. It's $130 in 3 minutes. All right? If you did 10 contracts, but here's the greatest thing. You don't need a whole lot of money to do this trade, right? Could you do 10 contracts? That's why. If you got in at $1.52, $1.53, you need $153 to do 1 contract. You need $1,500 to do 10. Would you be okay with $160? $160 in 3 minutes. $130. Sorry, $130 in 3 minutes. Right? I am. What if you were able to do a few more than 10? What if you did 20? $260. What if you did 40 contracts? Do it on a Tasty Works where you don't pay for any more than the first handful of contracts. You got a cap on what you pay for. Jason said all day long. Jim's like, yes, exactly. Exactly. Right? So it all depends the trade setup, PK. We've got different deltas that we utilize along the way for the different trade setups that we do. This one is a very specific brand new setup that Amelia has developed utilizing some of the rules that I've generated. She's put them together into a system and she is crushing it almost daily with this. This was based off of pivot points, right? Which is what you're looking at, that 403.95, which goes out in her text with Trade Watch alerts every single day. She tells you where the pivots are. Yeah, Amos said, I'm all in, man. Just give it to me. Yeah, she crushes it, PK. She absolutely crushes it, right? Without a doubt, right? Yeah, it's Eastern time, Robert. Amelia's down in Atlanta. So, I don't know why it's good. That's just when she took the picture, the 10:45. She didn't take the picture until then, right? Here's the entry. Here's the exit. Right, you can see there are more candles over to the right of the chart. That's just when she actually did it. But yes, it is 1 minute candle, and it is a Eastern time. Right? Amy dropped in the link for it, guys. Listen, you get a 2-week trial to this for free. I'm going to say that even if you've had a trial in the past, I'm going to forego that and say go get it again. Take advantage of it and take advantage of this. Right? It's a 2-week trial where every single day you're going to get a handful of text messages with the various trade setups we're doing. So go check it out, right? So with that being said, I had a quick conversation this morning with Brandon, and he was talking about a trade that he crushed today on an open trade that they did. So Brandon, you can we get you turned on there? Are you good with microphone?
Yeah, it should be. Hopefully you guys can hear me now.
Fantastic. I can. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Not as good as some of the students were in the class today, but I'm doing pretty good.
Okay. I see all kinds of trades coming out from you today on your wealth with spreads, but we were talking about some stuff that you did in the E-mini today. How'd you guys make out this morning?
Well, we had a couple of good trades, a couple of small losses. And I mean, that's the thing. Is one of the most encouraging things that happened was that some of the students have been able to apply the tools and the techniques that they learned in the class on their own independently without me having to prompt them on it, which is really the end goal. Obviously, I've got a lot of strategies that I want to share with people. And once they can feel comfortable doing it themselves and pulling the trigger themselves and finding results, I mean, that's the goal right there. That makes me happy and kind of validates what I do as an instructor. So that's kind of what happened with me today, where I was going through a bunch of different trades and sharing ideas with the students. And then what ended up happening was there's a strategy I teach called the opening range breakout. And we do it on the energy markets, and we also do it on the equity markets in the first part of the morning. And what eventually happened is that the students were able to take advantage of the S&P 500, either by doing the full-size contract, or if you wanted to reduce risk, you can do it on the micro contract. So you get to control that, which is really nice. The flexibility of those micros is great. And well, thank you, Roman. Roman just mentioned that my class helps him to make his trades as well. So I appreciate that. Thank you. But anyway, what happened was that some of the students, again, took the strategy and they were able to apply it. Let me see if I can just go ahead and share this with you.
Sure.
So let me do it real quick. Actually, I don't know if I can. Oh, there we go. Share screen. There we go. Oh no, it's disabled. You have it disabled for me right now. I was going to try to share my screen with you to share what happened, but
you should be able to. Let's see.
Nope, it says oh, wait a minute. Here we go. This will stop the others from sharing. Cool. Okay, so now I can do it. All right, so there we are. And you should be looking at my screen now with the chart. And basically what happens is the first thing in the morning, we get this morning range at 9:30. There's the 9:30 bell. I'm on a 15-minute time frame chart. And we're able to reduce the risk by going to a smaller time frame. And what I do is I try to identify what candle is making the high during the first 15 minutes of the day and which candle is making the low for the first 15 minutes of the day. So in this case, because the markets were so bullish, we expected the markets to rally today anyway. We in our pre-market analysis, we identified that it was going to continue going up, and we just need to figure out where can we get on board to ride this. So what happened was, you see there's the opening range, the high and low with those yellow or mustard colored lines. Then what I do is simply wait. and didn't have to wait too long. You know, you asked earlier how many people were able to make money earlier in the day and how long it took them. And this was pretty quick. Within the first 30 minutes of the day, what happened was we broke out of that high and established that we were going to go in that direction for the day. And again, there's certain steps we look for. And when prices came back, you can see where the purple arrow is. That is the opening range breakout long entry. And that gave the traders the opportunity to take advantage of this big, nice run to the upside without having to wait for it to pull back to a support level or demand zone. They were just able to enjoy the ride. And at this point, it's all just pure profits and waiting to see if the trend ever changes. All we have to do now is just sit back and put in a trailing stop with some moving averages or something like the 8-period exponential moving average. And as long as we stay above that, you continue to make profits for the day. We're entering the doldrums. So during this time on the East Coast, it's lunchtime. And what's happening is all the order flow from the big institutions have already been pressed through in the morning. And what will happen is the big money makers or the the mutual funds and hedge funds, they're going to look at the average price of the day a little bit later. They don't do anything usually for the next 2 hours between noon and 2 p.m. Everything somewhat goes flat. We call it the doldrums. So this will pick up again in the afternoon and give you some opportunities to be able to ride to the upside where we'll probably continue to make some new highs before the end of the day.
So Brandon, you got in around 46, 46, call it 40.47. Is that about right?
That's correct. Yeah, right around 40.47 is where we would have been entering. Technically, yeah, right around 46.75 is actually the entry. And again, if you wanted to control the risk, the nice thing was students have choices. You know, you can go into the MES, and on the MES, you have the exact same type of setup, but a lot less risk, obviously. So it's kind of customizable to what you feel comfortable doing in your own personal trading. So that would have been the entry right about here somewhere. Same price, 46.75, but again, just less risk and less reward, but also less margin.
So if we go to 47, just to make it round numbers, 40.47, and it's at 40.67 right now, that's a 20-point move. So did they make $20? Is that what it is?
If they're not, they're probably not even out yet. So they're probably still making more, but yeah, I mean, that's the thing. There's nothing telling us this is going to turn around yet. So we're still waiting for it to be told to get out. So it could be more,
but
yeah, 20 points, 20 points a day.
Right. I was being facetious. A 20-point move doesn't mean they made $20. Right?
Oh no, I didn't hear you say that. No,
that's okay. That's okay. So
no, it's $50 a point. That's $1,000 move.
If we got out now, what would we be looking at?
Yeah, $1,000 move.
$1,000 move, guys. It's the understanding of how futures work, which is slightly different than how equities work. And all futures are different. You can't look at the Dow and the ES and the Russell and call them all the same thing, because they're not, or the NASDAQ. They're all different. They have all slight variations to them, right? So, which Brandon goes over in his training. But $1,000, that's not a bad day.
Yeah, exactly. No, we also got another trade that we put on a couple. I mean, we don't just do day trades. Tom's actually mentioning something about another position we're in right now. This is on the live cattle. Let me show you this. We've been in this trade. The entry was on the 31st. So this is a swing trade where we identified an opportunity, just what I call a buy zone or demand zone. And what is happening right now is you can see we got long right here at 121.875. And my stops are already at the point where I cannot lose at this point. It's a free trade. We've already moved the stops up to make profits. It looks like it just teased us. Didn't quite hit my target yet, but came close. The high here is 124.65, and I can't remember where my target is. I think it's just slightly above. But you can see how close it came to that target. Ouch. Either way, I mean, I'm still holding on to it. I'm going to move my stops up as well, but we're just basically riding this one out for quite some time. Let's see, I'm in a simulated mode, but let's see, where's my LE right now? There it is. So right now that trade in the open is $1,640 on 2 contracts since March 31st. So that was a nice little swing trade that we put in. And the margin on this is, I can't remember what it is actually on, let me tell you, LE, where are we here? There it is. So $1,760. So we basically made 100% rate of return on our margin by putting in that swing trade and just being patient, waiting for the opportunities. And the second target will take us even higher. So we should be able to reach that. It's going to take another couple of days to get there. But it's kind of nice so we combine some of the immediate reaction in the day trading with also some of the longer term opportunities in swing trading, holding overnight to even over the weekends.
Very nice. Very nice. What do you guys think? You liking it? What Brandon's talking about? Guys, the whole goal is this. No matter what we do, every coach that's here, the goal is to show you strategies and things that you can use every day to make money. I talk with Brandon all the time. I talk with Tony all the time. Ryan and I have started that conversation back up on a regular basis with what he's doing, right? I talk with Amelia with her strategies and Trade Watch alerts. Where are you at? What are you trying to accomplish, right? We can help get you there regardless of what it is. You've just got to decide what you want to do, right? We can get you there.
And to answer Jim's question, yes, I am still looking about that area, 41, 80. So for the turnaround in the S&P. So I still have upside target, a long way to go.
Yeah, plenty of room up to 41.81.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Excellent. Brandon, hey, I know you had something going on today and you were able to jump in. I appreciate you taking the time out to hang out with us for a little bit this morning.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, this is the best part of this is that the students were able to take advantage of those strategies they learned and do this kind of on their own with very minimal guidance. And that's really encouraging.
There you go. And that's why I ask every week, where are you guys at? Are you placing some trades? How'd you do? Right? There you go. So, Brandon, we appreciate it. You have a good one, and we'll talk later.
All right, thanks.
Oh, there we go. I thought they cut you off already. Hey, guys, remember, you can catch Brandon in his Coach's Corner, which is on a Friday. He does it once every 3 weeks. Ryan is this week. Brandon will be the upcoming week after that. So those of you that are here on our training, or if you're on YouTube, which, by the way, we're getting ready to switch this up, guys. We're going to be using a different software program shortly. I'll be back in the office full-time. I don't know if it's next week or the week after, as we get past some things that we're dealing with now. We're getting the recording studio finalized, and I'll be back in full-time. We'll be doing this from the recording studio instead of from my home. But we'll be on, for sure, we'll be on Zoom. We'll be on YouTube. We'll be on Facebook Live. So YouTube Live, Facebook Live, possibly one other, maybe an Instagram, not really sure yet. But you're going to see all of this stuff coming through on various social platforms. So if you're on YouTube and you guys have questions as well, I got it set up on the other computer over here. I don't know why my computer just kind of went a little wiggy on me there. Give me a second. All right, there we go. So we got a couple questions came in on YouTube as well, so that's awesome. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and keep rocking and rolling there, guys. So let me bring up charts and let's see what's happening in there today. All right, so let's go take a look at the S&P 500 first. And then we're going to talk VIX, which is what the topic was about today. So Brandon showed it, right? He had ES was the chart that he had up on his screen. ES is a futures contract of the S&P 500. One of the things you'll see us talk about every day now, we're going to get back to it. We got away from it with all this COVID junk, is the ES, which is the S&P 500. We talk about it early in the morning to go out on Twitter with some ideas of where we're going, what we're doing. I talked about looking for pullbacks on the S&P. We pulled back, we pulled back, we pulled back, and we pulled back, right? Great opportunities, but good runs, very good runs in the market. All of this shifted in the overnight session after Europe's open, right? We had the push on Thursday. We pulled some back. We opened up 6 o'clock on Sunday night. We pulled down, put in the first part of our base, which was earlier in the evening last night, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. We came up, we had lower tops coming in. We put in a second base, which gave us our double bottom, which gave us our descending triangle. We got a moving average cross right about 4 o'clock this morning, a little bit later, but right about 4 a.m. this morning. We got a moving average cross. And from that moving average cross, we've just skyrocketed. We kind of flattened off a little bit as we got into the earlier parts of the morning. Here you got 8:30. We had some, economic announcements around the globe, and then 9:30 we just skyrocketed from there, right? So phenomenal setups on there on the S&P. Again, this is ES, right? And I would suggest that you are watching the ES. You could look at the pre-markets of the S&P 500, but the ES gives you a great understanding globally, and I mean around the world, not globally about the S&P. On Globex around the globe of where the S&P is trading right now in the pre/post markets, right? So let me just kind of redesign my desk here for a second so I can get better functionality of what we're doing here today. So overall, phenomenal moves. If we go ahead and look from a standpoint of the biggest net change today, right? You've got Google, right? Getting some, some things with the government today, the news announcements that came out, great announcements for them. So we had a bullish with the pullback to the 8 on Google was our note. That never happened. We just skyrocketed today. So we never got our pullback on Google, right? Strong push early in the morning. It took some time before we got a pullback, which was to about 11 o'clock. So for the way that we day trade things, that bounce in there would have taken us about, call it 21.95, right? And now you're talking about 22.14. So about 18, 20 points moved to the upside on Google. So really nice structure there. Roman talked about Amazon, which is one of his go-tos every single day, right? Amazon made the move up. They pulled back intra candle to the moving average and bounced, right? But right here, woo, sweet, right into that moving average. You're talking about 31.95 up to 32.22. So 27-point move on Amazon. There's been a lot of opportunity. Tesla is a darling, right? After their announcement, but their gap was so big. You're waiting for what? That pullback to take place, right? Actually, let me full screen this. There we go. So we got this pullback took place into our moving average, and there was the bounce. You got a quick move, but not a whole lot. But it was decent, don't get me wrong. 690 up to 700, so about $10. Again, Tesla, not a lot, but a decent move. I know we've kind of dropped off from that. So I think Tesla's announcement was the majority of what we're seeing, at least for the early parts of trading today. And then everybody across the board, this was interesting. Again, Facebook comparing themselves to Apple and considering Apple to be a major competitor, and where Cook, their CEO, said, yeah, we don't even know who Facebook is. they're like a fly to Vigo, if you know the Ghostbuster movies, right? Number two, they're nothing. Facebook is not a competitor, in my opinion, of what Apple does. Apple is cellular is a big part of their business. They're nowhere near that, right? As Apple is not a competitor to Facebook to me either. They don't compete with what Facebook does. They have, they're involved in social, but not the way that a Facebook is a social, right? Adobe was a good one as well. We had Adobe down. Oh, actually, we're in an open trade on Adobe. Let me see if I can grab that real quick. I got a lot of things open on that page, so let's see. Again, not sure what monitor even opens up on. All right, so let me go ahead and hide that. Go ahead and hide that. All right. So we've got quite a few open trades right now. Here's Adobe. We've already taken 2 exits on Adobe. We got in Adobe on March 31st, 4 contracts at 469 when the stock was 469.5. We sold 2 of them on the 31st at 473. We sold 1 of them on the 1st at 485. So we're talking about 470 to 485. Adobe, $15 move. Right. Well, now let's go ahead and take a look at where we are today. And we're still in the trade. Let's go look at Adobe. Let me turn on today's data. All right. Take a couple of seconds and then we will get a pop. And let's see what it's doing. So we hit our second exit, came here on April 1st. Right. And there we are right now. So we're at 492 is our price. What a great looking candle. Good open, good thrust push today. So it's at 492 and we got in at 470. So we got a 22-point move right now. So we would take that $1,755 profit that we're at right now, locked in on those first 3 contracts. And here, we're almost, here's the thing. This runner has brought in, if we sold it now, almost an additional $2,000. What does that mean? We could potentially make more money on the last 1 contract than the first 3. That is why we place runners. Do we see the home runs happen all the time like that? No. Do they come up a couple of times a year? Yeah. 12, 15, 20 times a year we'll see that happen? Absolutely. Maybe once a month, twice a month, maybe, but I'll take it, right? $4,000 on Adobe? Yeah, all day long. All day long, All right, so let's see. Let's see. All right, Sarah said that tweet this morning on the ES was a pleasant surprise. Glad to hear it'll be a regular thing. Yep. We put an entire program together, Sarah, that is me. If it doesn't happen, it's my fault. Trying to make sure that I get various social things out. I sent something out into the mastermind group this morning on Facebook. You're going to see regular posts on the regular Facebook page also. Let's see. Jim said Tesla waiting possible for a gap fill before going up. Possibly, Jim. I just don't know if it's a today gap fill, right? It's a same day gap fill with as big as a move it was. Let's see. Tom said, I remember that Amazon runner from last year. Was it like 35K, something like that, Tom? So we had the one runner on Amazon, one contract left in our 4 or 10. I don't remember if we did a 4 or 10 contract trade. And we made 35 grand on the last contract alone on Amazon. So yes, absolutely. There's big possibilities to what happens on that last contract, right? Let's see what else. And guys, again, do you need to get all of these very crazy price stocks, the Amazon, the Googles, the Teslas? No. What about Carnival, right? Now, don't get me wrong. They've got earnings coming up this week. I don't know if it's Tuesday or Wednesday, but they've got earnings coming up this week. You've got GameStop, right, which has still done, still held its own. $186. There was a nice gap this morning. Good opportunity on that breakdown in there, right? But nice gap down this morning. We had a full gap fill on GameStop, right? 20-point move, a little bit more than 20 points on GameStop, right? How about American Airlines? See, you don't need these very expensive stocks. Well, Rob, what do I do on American Airlines? Well, the stock right now is trading at $24.60, right? What if, come on, where are you hiding? All right. What if on American Airlines, we went ahead and bought the stock at 24.5, right? And we sold into that position. We sold the 25s at 36 cents, right? Not a bad rate of return for the next 5 days. Well, Rob, can I do something with less cash? I don't want to buy the stock. Sure. What if we sold the naked put? Look for a 20 delta. I'm selling the 23.5 for 16 cents. So if they made me buy it, I would be buying it at $1.50, $1 less than it is right now. And they're going to pay me a price for that. And Rob, I'm only making 16 cents. I did a show last week. Last week we were off. On Friday, I did a show on Benzinga on the YouTube channel. And I was asked by the host, why would I take such a small rate of return on a small dollar amount on my premium? And it's not about the dollar amount, guys. If I did this $23.50 option, let me get a calculator, right? If I did a $23.50 option to sell a naked put, I need $5.87, right? So let's see. Cash in 0.16 divided by 5.87. Right? That's about 3%, 2.7% for the week. If you can make 3% a month, with the rule of 72, you double your account in 2 years. Right? And right now, if we were back in the office, we'd be ringing bells and ding, 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 ding. I mean, that's a home run, right? Kapow, Batman, whatever you want to call it, right? 3% a month. I'm talking about making 3% a week. If you're able to generate 3% a week, we'll call it 2.5. That's 10% a month. How long does it take you to double your account? About 7 months. If you're able to generate that off of this piddling little 16-cent premium that you're taking in, right? Do not look at the dollar amount. Look at the rate of return. Now, let's be realistic for a second. You got a $500 account. Is that the trade you should be doing if you're trying to build your account? Probably not. For me, this is my retirement account. I do these over and over and over and over and over. I did 2 positions this morning from Covered Call Explorer. I did 2 positions this morning, naked puts, for me in retirement, right? That is the type of strategies I want. Worst thing that can happen, stock goes up and I just keep the premium. I don't make any more money. Or the stock goes down, they make me buy it, but I was going to do a covered call on it anyway today. So how bad can it be? Right? let's make sure from a mindset perspective, you're looking at things properly. Don't poo-poo the idea because, oh, Rob, I can make $500 if I do this trade. And you should. This is, to me, retirement strategies, long-term strategies. You're getting up in age, a little bit older strategies where you're not putting as much capital at risk for as long a period of time. You're not buying an Amazon, right? There are different ways of utilizing the different strategies and components, all right? Does this make sense, guys? Give me 1 for yes or 2 for no if you think this is valid. If you like it, don't like it, and it's okay. You don't have to like it. Tell me if you don't. I'll probably throw you out of the room, but no, I'm kidding. Tell me if you don't. It's okay. Can someone with a 10K account make 5% a week? Jason, on our covered calls, we look for 3 to 5% a month. That's the monthly covered call, okay? Let me get this spreadsheet and move it, right? Let me just make that smaller. On diagonal spreads, the answer is without a doubt. The opportunity to make 5% a week is there, not on a covered call. Now, again, that's with that type of retirement strategy. Can you do it on the strategies that we do very short term? Yes, go back and look at the day trade alone from today. Right? That right there is 8.5% in 3 minutes. So yes, you can. Yeah, we didn't get there yet, Debbie, so you're good. You're good. All right, so where were we going with this? I kind of sidetracked myself on that question. Oh, I know what I was saying. So let me open this up here. All right, this is a few weeks back with a much higher VIX than we are now. We still need to talk VIX, right? So you look at these diagonal trades right here, right? SVIX, 16.47% for the week. All right, so Jason, and if you take the lowest one on here, notice the color, it's in blue, right? That's our third level. You take the smallest one that's on here is that. We go up to the next one, which is KMX. We're at 8.98%. Actually, it's not sorted that way. We've got a low, because of numbers, that's why. The way we sort it out is based on this column first. So if you just look here, that's our weekly rate of return on that strategy. So there are plenty of strategies that you can do that with. Now, I'm not guaranteeing you'll make anything, right? It really is going to be based on how good you do as a trader, not necessarily what the strategy is capable of. Right? I mean, Roman is a great example. He crushes it on a regular basis, but Roman has also been doing this a long time. He's in our inner circle. He's got the strategies down. He's built his own strategies from the rules that I teach, gotten them documented, follow up on them, and he trades it every single day the exact same way. And we have a private trading room just for those that are in the inner circle 3 days a week where the market's open. We give an opportunity to get in and chat together. And I've seen the Roman in there where he's on a trade and he's just hyper focused. You could drop a bomb behind him and he wouldn't take his focus off of that trade, right? That's the level we're looking for there. Daniel said it's a good base to hit at time and then your account will grow and grow and grow. Yep, that's exactly it, Daniel. I don't have time to trade my kids' accounts over, actively trade them all day long. So nor do I have my own retirement account. So I've got my primary accounts in a few different brokers, plus our retirement accounts. Those are very long-term strategies like covered calls, like naked puts, like diagonals, right? So we had the great moves today in the market. If we look at the VIX, whoo! So 1808 was the last reading I got on it down here, but you see this line here at 1870. If we go back, F8, let's unscrunch, right? Actually, maybe we should scrunch. Let's see. The other scrunch. Stretch instead of the scrunch, right? So here's that 1870 line, and we've not been there since February 3rd-ish or so. We've not been at that level at all since then. We were slightly above it, and then we came back down below that 1870 again, right? This is the very first time since this craziness in the end of February, as the VIX started to rise. This is the very first time that we've come back down below that level, right? Does that mean we're going to hold there? Guys, that's, listen, when we, before COVID, and we were very much living at this 12 level, 1220, phenomenal, right? Now, if you're not familiar with VIX, this is important, right? A low VIX means that the market is bullish. So when the market goes up, the VIX drops. When the market comes down, the VIX goes up. When the VIX goes up, the value of put options starts to increase. When the value of put options increases, the value of call options, ironically, just following suit, will increase also. Maybe not to the same level, but you will have bigger spreads, almost guaranteed as you start getting higher VIX levels. Again, it's at 30 and 40, you're almost guaranteed that you're seeing those bigger spreads on that bid ask on calls, and then the puts become very much overvalued, or start becoming very much overvalued once you get above that 30-ish level. Now, we've been up as high as 89 and change, right? Crazy times. Not this year, but we got close. When I say this year, within the last year. So we were up here at, what was our high? 85.39, but not the all-time high. The all-time high goes back here, 89.53, right? And that was in 08, right there. That was crazy times through the 08 stuff. For now, you know, and we don't get, actually go back to where we were. Go back to a weekly chart. Look, this is 50 right in here. 1, 2, if you're counting the big moves up here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that's actually not it. Nope, my bad. 50 is up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 times back to 1995 have we hit 50 or above. So we did get the 45 level, 45, 48 level. A few more times here. These hit right there, right? But that 45, we've had a bunch more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 time, 8 times since 1995. 95, 05, 15, and we're talking 20 plus years, we've only hit that 45 level 8 times. So we get above 30, things start getting a little bit crazy as far as the VIX. We are in an ultra low volatility period right now, not one that we've seen for a while, right? And not one that we normally see. In very strong bullish markets, getting down to that 18, 12, 18, 20 level is great. If we maintain 2025, I would be ecstatic. I would never complain about that VIX level. I'm just fine with having those levels out there. All right. So what stocks do you guys want me to take a look at? Drop them in. And Brandon's still sending orders out there on his spreads. All right. So he's got another one he just entered into. His NG hit his target. Nice. Okay. All right. So Trader Rose asking for American Express. Okay. Ho! Somebody say ho. I just did this a couple of days ago on Trade with Rob. This is the candidate that I put out there. We're still trying to work out all the bugs with getting them posted properly on the website. But we just put this one out there with a target of that 149. After today's move, will I be a little bit cautious on American Express as taking the entry? Our entry came back in here, right? So I'd be a little cautious on taking the entry, but 149 approximately-ish is our upside target. Wait for the pullback to the 8 and the bounce before taking that trade or considering that trade. CLF, those of you that are on YouTube, you got some questions, drop them in, guys. The admins will move them over to me, and I'll be getting them over here. So I know Amy is focused very much on what's going on over there. So is Sean. So CLF, right, which is Cleveland Cliffs, who's asking for CLF. It's kind of getting away from me there. Jim, all right. So on CLF, Jim, the very first thing I see is recently, the last 8 or 9 months, we have not been this high before. So I want to go and stretch back a little bit and see, we got earnings coming up, so caution there. That yellow bar says anything to the left of the yellow bar, if earnings is there, we want to Be very, 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 very careful. Day trades only for me. Let's see. Let's go to weekly chart. Okay, we've definitely been a whole lot higher on CLF than we are right now, right? So let's go back to a daily chart. So it's not that we're anywhere near the all-time highs, but we do have a nice high in place, right? So what are we looking at here? Let's see what we've got as far as it's not going to be much on fibs because of how low a price stock it is. Probably here to here. Yeah, it's decent fib. Look for the move back to the 1860 and then 21, 18, 19, 20, 23. Almost 3. You may need a fib inside of here. Split that middle, right about that 2020 level inside of there, which is where we're hanging out right now. Actually, let's do it that way. Instead of guessing, let's edit this line and let's add a negative 136 in there because of how powerful it is. Watch when this line goes in. We're right there. Right, we're right there. We're sitting right at a resistance level right now. So caution, grasshopper. Right? I'd love to see the pullback to the 0 line again, especially if we can get the 8 moving average near it somewhere. I don't know the news that drove it a couple of days ago. Right? I mean, I don't know how much more steel we're using, or they're expecting more manufacturing to take place. But that's what I'd be looking at, Jim, on CLF. All right. Hope that helps. Baidu, BIDU. All right. So Baidu, let's see today. Okay. So we had Baidu. I have Baidu as a bearish candidate here with that 200 as our stopping point. Let's see. We're at 40 points. Yeah, we don't need any pivots in there. So good setup on Baidu. I like to move down to 200. You just got to be willing to trade against the overall market, right? That's what it is. The VIX is at 45 saying, ooh, you can trade me directionally. The DMI minus is at 32 saying, yes, take a directional trade. I'm not a fan that the DMI minus has kind of rolled off. The DMI plus, the green line is flat. I'm okay with that. Slight hint up, but nothing to be concerned with. A little more of a shift to the downside on the DMI minus. But we've also been now 3 days. We kind of moved up and just have really not done, maybe down a little bit, right? So Baidu, definitely an opportunity down to that 200, 192 level as our resistance supports. We're looking at somewhere above that 227 level as the stop, right? So Robert S., I hope that helps. Brenda, QQQ. Let's pull these fibs out. So what a rockin' move on QQQ. Apple is still, we looked this up when we were in the inner circle a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about the top 10 holdings of the NASDAQ, which is the QQQ. And Apple is still number 1. Google's got a good presence there. Amazon's got a good presence there. All of them, rocking the market today. So this may be the recovery on NQ. I'm always talking futures. This may be the recovery we see on the NASDAQ that we've been looking for. Apple's been kind of beat up a bit, so this may be the recovery looking for. So nothing to do on it today, Brenda. Tough call unless you're day trading off an intraday chart. That's okay, right? So Valero, Brenda, I love the energy sector right now. I think there's good opportunities. Look right. I always talk look left. Look right, you'll see an E. Go and confirm when the actual earnings are. It shows here that it's on 422, but you want to get a confirmed number before placing that trade. Moving averages are not quite there, Brenda. The 8 is below the 21. Pink is below green. We could take the trade, but it would have to be an aggressive trade, which means if you normally took 2 contracts, you would only take 1. If you normally took 10 contracts for us, I would take 4. That's our aggressive number in there. But you would take less than your normal contracts because the moving averages are not in the right order here. If we can get a close above the 21, right, or move back above the 21, there may be an opportunity to take that bullish entry. But keeping in mind, we may be too tight with that earnings schedule to come out. So I hope, though, that answers it. Let's see. Where are the fibs on Valero? Okay. So we're looking at from right HAR. Gap up, right there. Okay. So the fibs give us a confluence with our 8 and 21 at that 73 level. 77 is resistance. All right. Let's see. All right. Debbie's asking for Bank of America. Glad you made it, Debbie. Let's see. All right. Great little fib, hiccup in the middle. Right. So we're looking at this as a zero line breakout, Debbie. I need to close above the 39.97 level. Right. One of my favorite trade setups is right here. If we get a close on this above that 39.97 level, this is BAC. Oh, wait, they got earnings coming out, though. Yeah, right here. Darn. What I was going to say, if they get a close above that 39.97, I'll be looking for a bounce off of that 40 level with 41.38 is our first target and 42.80 is our second target. But I'm going to cross them back off my list because their earnings are too close for me. But that's the setup we're looking at there, Debbie, is that. But be careful of earnings. All right, David's asking for AA. Right, which is Alcoa, right? They are the unofficial start to earnings season. So if we put a fib, we've got this kind of hiccup. Well, it's more than a hiccup, I think, right? Well, actually, we gapped down 2 or 3 days. We filled, no, so we're good. That would be so this move up, we went up sideways, we went up, we gapped up, right? And then gapped back down, and 2 to 3 days, we're back in the same place again. So we're good. Same thing here. We gapped up and we filled. This was not really a gap and fill. This was more of we had a small move in there. That doesn't count. And we pulled back. So there's our fib. Earnings also scheduled not too far out. So be careful on that because of where the earnings are. Oh, that's what I want. F11. 32 to 37. Something more like 33. So we're probably okay. We don't really need a fib in here. So if we get the close above the 33, we're looking at 37 as our resistance or our target. Fibbing on what? Well, sorry, just didn't see it. I can't see all the notes anymore. They're too far down on the screen. I'm working off of craziness the way they do this here. All right, so we did that. U.S. Steel keeps asking for X. Great covered call candidate, great naked put candidate. Love them. They've had good numbers. Their earnings are showing past my yellow bar. Keep in mind that you want to confirm that. Don't just trust what you see on the screen. Confirm it with your broker, with I use Earnings Whisper, but confirm it. Good move up and a pullback. I mean, this would be our original fib. Would be right here. Kind of tight. It's under $1, 1973, 2064. Under $1. But we're looking at the bounce off 24.46 to 26.54 as resistance on U.S. Steel. And again, just keep your eye on the earnings. Disney, Mike asked for. So I hope that was helpful, Keith, for U.S. Steel. On Disney, Mike, well, nice gap up today. Nice gap up today, but moving average is still not in the right order. They're bullish, just not true bull. So I would take more of an aggressive trade. Also, the 21, the highest moving average, the green line, it's kind of in the middle of the two fib lines. So I'd be a little more cautious there of trying to generate an entry off of Disney until we can get a clearer path and a concise entry on the setup. So I would pass on it for now until I got above that 193.85. But Rob, there's a lot of opportunity. Yes, you can day trade it all day long. You can. If you're watching it, you can day trade it all day long for sure. All right. Earnings Whisper not confirmed 429. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. And that's on U.S. Steel. So Larry's asking for itty bitty machine. All right, so now we're at a zero line breakout, Larry. Retest, close here. Retest of the 135.50 level. Oh, no, it's not zero line. We're on the opposite side of the coin here. That's okay. We could still, yeah, I'm not a big fan. We need to redraw fibs on IBM. Let's do that. Come from down here to up here. IBM used to be such a rocker, man. They're nothing now, it seems. 125.83 to 1. So 126 to 128 is our fib lines. That's enough there. So we had a nice move. Today was the day, right? Had we caught the beginning of the trade today, yes, with 137 as resistance, target just below, you'd probably be out of the first half of your trade. So day trade is fine if you're not getting ripped off on options pricing, right? With as close as we are to earnings. Low VIX is good, but it doesn't stop it. Believe me, I've been through decades of this, right? So a little bit of caution on IBM there, Larry. FedEx. I got a couple of emails from you guys last week on my FedEx and UPS merger joke. Some of you liked it, some of you didn't appreciate it, and that's okay. When you have your own microphone, you can say what you want. But nah, no one really busted my chops for it. Other than, I've heard that you stole that for years. Yeah, I did and have. It's a good little joke. So on FedEx, we've got a good move up. We're on 8 moving average, so you get to see the entire fib there. But I'm in the middle of nowhere. Guys, if you look, this year, let me see if I still have it open. And there's still a few more trades to be shared yet, right? They're not on here yet. So the last one I moved over, I didn't move any trades over that came in over the weekend, meaning we did our record keeping and found ones that we had closed that had to move here. There's another 5 or 6. But we've done about 100 trades already this year. On average, we do 250, 300 trades a year normally in power option plays, right? And the reason this is important is if I've done 100, I can absolutely guarantee you there's 100 we didn't take. They were there, they moved, they would have worked had we done some of them, but we didn't take them. Why? Because we need what's called a clear and concise entry, not entry. Clear and concise entry. What does that mean? Concise, you're taking the trade at the right place only. Clear is the path from where you are to where you're going. I don't want to get in a trade and realize, oh goodness, $1 away is my resistance on Amazon. Well, that could be a bid-ask spread. You're in trouble, baby. Right? You might get lucky. You might pull it off, but I don't want to get lucky. I want to be good. I don't want to be lucky. I don't. Occasionally, it's fine to have a little bit of luck on your side, but we pass on tons of trades. All right, so be careful on FedEx until we get above the 290.70 or get some flatness. The moving average steps down to the 273.5 level. Right, that pink line gets down here, and we get a bounce. Then we can consider it. Let's see. Brad's asking for Mara, M-A-R-A. Mara, M-A-R-A. All right, good strong push today. We've got what's called the thrusting pattern right now. On this one, Brad. All right. And Brad's question is from YouTube. So let me stretch it back a little bit, Brad. As we can see, there ain't nothing back there for a long time. And we were down at, hold on. Okay. So we were down $1.28. They did a 1-for-4 split. They did a reverse split. Right? Not a 4-for-1. They gave you 1 share for every 4 you had. So if you had 100 shares, if you had 40 shares, they took your 40 shares and gave you 10 of the new one instead, just at 4 times the value. So instead of your shares being at $2, well, let's see if we hit the letter U, right? So before the split, they were at 81 cents. After the split, they were at about $3.50. So about $1 to $4. You just had 1/4 of the actual number of shares. Oops, not U. I mean, not D for. Not Y for yearly, which is what I did. So now that we've got that in perspective, I like the thrusting pattern. And we're at I don't want to call it all-time highs because we're certainly not, but we are at, you know, the higher end of the highs, right? The recent highs. So we're probably not going to get much of a fib in here. Well, maybe we are. Let's do that. Let's do that right in here. Yeah, 35, 37, we're good. So strong pattern. It's a strong thrust. Concise entry on this one, Brad, would be if the price was near the 45.91 level where the 8 moving averages, that would be a concise entry if we were down here, right? And the clear path would be up to that 51.84. That would have been nice. We're rocking already. For me, day trade would be my note on this. Look for intraday setups. Earnings just recently passed, which I don't know if that was the catalyst or not, but the earnings are behind us, it seems, so we should be okay. Let's see. Hope that helps. You got it, Jim. Paul is asking for MT. So MT. I don't know. I look at it, it's like, yeah, moving average setup. I'm not looking for fibs on it because it's not giving me a good move anywhere. Pullbacks to the 8 are potential opportunities, but I don't know what it is about it, Paul. I just don't like the chart. This little up and down, up and down, up and down over and over again just drives me nuts, right? And a lot of gapping taking place a little bit further back. Still some here, but a lot of these gaps a little further back. So pullbacks to the 8 and the bounce would be the opportunity for the entries if you like it. Wayne said, yes, please. Mara, I have covered calls that are going against me. So we just looked at Mara. All right, covered calls going against you. I'm assuming that you have, nope, that's not them. I'm assuming that the stock is, you're underwater because it's moving up. Right? It's either, now it's suck it up, buttercup, right? It's either buy them back and deal with that or let them, take your stock away from you. You've got to make a decision which one would be best. But I had a car accident. I want to buy some car insurance now. Nothing you can do, right? You're kind of stuck at this point if it's already made the move against you. But, if it gets back to the 45.91, that'd be great. I just don't know if you're going to see it in time for this weekend. Okay, so Teachas from YouTube is asking for FUBO. FUBO. Okay. Boo! Buy puts, going down. Nothing I like about this at all, right? As far as a bullish trade, not that bearish is bad, right? If we go back and look, and it's also a fairly new stock, right? This is the start of the stock. I love these IPOs that run up all on pure speculation and then just get their heads handed to them, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to draw the fib right in here. Right? Oh, I missed it. Let's try that again. Come on. Bueno. All right, so there's our move down. There's our H, retest of the 50 and fail, hanging at the 236. That is an ideal zero line breakout. We're looking at $6.50. We need a fibit inside of here. So we're going to edit a fitted on FUBO. We're going to edit this. We're going to put it in a negative 136 line. Right, we got the retest today. If you can come back in, we need that 23 level again today and fail. You're looking at 18 as your first target or your first support. Your next support is 1253. 18, that's $6. Yeah, we don't need any more lines there. We're good. That's a nice setup. So FUBO. I'm a big zero line breakout trader, so I love these setups. Let's see. Yeah, FUBO, say it 5 times fast. Exactly. Let's see. Yeah, I'll make a decision on Friday for buying them back. Guys, we're out of time. Grandma's teeth. You're right. Well, that one stock that I forgot who had asked about, Patty. No, it wasn't Patty. But just too much gapping around. Not really for me, right? MT. Yeah, it's just before. Oh yeah, it was on MT. Yep, that was Grandma's teeth. That's all that spacing in there. All these little gaps. It's like Grandma's teeth, right? So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Wrapping up another successful Power Hour. You have a great rest of your day. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. We can help get you there. Take advantage of the Trade Watch alerts that we dropped in. I'll leave the room open for a couple minutes so you can grab that link. Certainly go check out what Brandon's doing because he is killing it on a daily basis. And I will see all of you at our next update. Take care, folks. See you soon. Bye now.